Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be working on this title page of Worlds of Wonder and I'm really excited. I'm trying something a little bit different to my usual style and I'm hoping it's going to work out really good. So I'm going to be using my Polychromos as usual and I'm going to be using my white Prismacolor for blending. If you want to have a look at the colors we're going to be using, I'm going to put down my little pad here. Let's see, I'll show you that here. So you can write down or just pause. There you go. So you can write down what you need. Just pause the video and get the colors out if you want to color along. And let's get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is start with my background night sky. So it's very simple. It's exactly the same on both sides. So what I'll do is I'll show you the first, probably these two bits here, and how I'm going to do that. I'm going to do everything the same on both sides. Okay, so these are the colors I'm going to use for the night sky in the background. So we have down the bottom dark indigo 157, blue violet 137, helio blue reddish 151, light purple pink 128, and then finally we've got the cream which is 102. So I'm going to start off using my blue violet and I'm going to start off just sort of figuring out where I want my little background galaxies to be. So just start by placing down just a light layer of the blue violet. So I'm going in very lightly to start with. Let's see if we go by here. Again, with Polychromos you are better off building up your layers slowly. So I'm going to do lots of light layers until we can build up the right kind of color. It's also, you're also less likely to make mistakes that you can't fix. So I'm just going to I'm going to have this sort of purpley undertone to the whole thing, so I'm just going to layer it down all the way up to the balloon. I'm going to go all the way to the corner here. Just watching out for the little stars. Those little dots I don't really bother with because I can add, I'm going to just add some white to that later on. Okay, I'm going to go in with my light purple pink and I'm going to overlap a little bit here. And I'm going to start working my way in. Again, just doing really light layers and then just overlapping out a little bit. because I'm going to do light layers, I've decided I want to just take away some of that. I don't want it as far in. There we go. When you do light layers, you can remove a little bit when you only got one layer down. In the center, I'm going to go with the cream. Yeah, I'm just hoping that my little tip came off and broke off, so I'll super glue it back in, and I'm hoping it will hold on me. So that's my first sort of base layer. I'm just going to now go in with my dark indigo, and I'm going to start laying down the darker areas. So I'm not going to go quite up until the edge here. I'm going to give a little bit of room. I might add a little bit more later on, but I don't want to add too much. Just around the clouds, just to make the clouds really pop later on. Be a nice contrast. In with my Helio Blue Reddish. This is really sort of brightening the whole thing up. And I'm taking this one much further in so that we get that little bit of really bright blue just next to the purple. And we'll have those bit of purple undertones then when we excuse me. Here we go. So we'll get those purple undertones. Alright, I'm going back in with my pink. Just the same pink as last time. And just sort of start blending out. Again, in with the dark indigo. Just want to darken up some of the areas. And a little bit more of the violet blue. And now I'm going to go in with my white and I'm going to start smushing it all together. So again, this is a Prismacolor white. I just find they blend a bit better because they're softer, so they are easier to sort of smush. Say your technical term, smushing. Really starting to see a beautiful night sky with a little galaxy forming here as well. Later on, when we finish everything, we'll put in some white highlights, and for that I'm going to use a white gel pen. Alright, just for the stars here, I'm just going to use this one here, which is the light. It's hard to see this one because it's so light. This is the light cadmium yellow, which is 105. I'm just going to use that just add a little bit to the little stars. Just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing just on the side here and just on the side here. And I'll do that off camera. There we go. So that's our sky and our galaxies just there. I think it looks really pretty with the pinks and that cream in the middle. It just really makes it look like it's glowing. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. But what we'll do today is I just thought I'll show you this side here, because both sides of this one are identical. So I really don't need to show you both. So we're going to now move on to do our, I think we do a balloon. So for our balloons, we are going to use these three colors here. So that's Rose Carmine, which is 124, Pink Madder Lake 129, and also Cream 102. So I'm going to start with my Rose Carmine. Oh, might need to sharpen that one a little bit. That's better. So we're gonna start darker down the bottom here. We're going to do every second one. We're going to start darker down the bottom and we're going to fade our way up to the top. It's quite handy because you've got to have a pretty good point on your pencil at this point, because it's got some tiny little areas down here as well. So I'm just sort of tickling the paper a little bit just up the top, and I'm going to just go back down here and just put down a few more layers. We're just going to do the same thing here and on the other ones. I'm going to use the same color on this sort of larger area here as well, and I'm going to have a bit of a shade in the middle, so I'm going to have a darker on either side and fade my way in. So leave that little band that's there, leave that one for now, because we're going to use a different pink with that one. blank in the middle here just for a bit, and we might blend that in afterwards. I haven't quite decided whether I want to use the cream or the white to blend with yet, but we'll figure that out. Now we're going to use, again, we're going to go to this little scalloped edge here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go darker on the edges and lighten it in the middle. We're still working with the same rose carmine. And then the last bit is just that little triangle here down the bottom. Leave the band and then just go same thing, leaving the middle and darkening the edges. Okay, we're going to go on to using our pink Madder Lake, which is 129. So to sharpen it just a tiny bit. So I'm going to go and I'm going to use it on this band. And then we're going to use it down here, like just below that scalloped edge. Same thing, darker on the edges and lighten it towards the center. There we go. We're going to go in with our cream. And there's little pearly bits around the side as well. And then this and there's this band here. Now I reckon I'll use this as well to blend that little section in the middle. I think cream is definitely one of my favorites. It's one of the ones that tend, apart from the whites, that tend to go down really quickly. It's always my shortest pencil, just because it makes things look like it's glowing. There we go, that's our little balloon. I'm just going to go in just a tiny bit with the white, just getting rid of any blue that's still on it. I'm just going to smush that a little bit out. I just find it helps, especially where I've done really light layers. That white just helps smushing it a bit together and then removing some of that tooth on the paper, so it's not, so it's more like, it's more even. There we go. Okay, we're going to start tackling the clouds. I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit for this, I think. Okay, so for the clouds, I'm actually going to add in a few more layers of cloud, if that makes sense. I don't want to go in here with an ink, like a fine liner or something like that, because I want it to be like more subtle. So I'm going to use, so one of the colors I'm going to use, actually I'll show you all the colors first. So I have, let's see if you can see here. So I've got cream 102, then I got the salmon 130, and then I got the beige red, which is 132. So I'm going to use my salmon, and I'm just going to make just some little cloudy bits. And maybe just one more. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same just up the top here too, just really fast. And I'll of course do the same on the other side. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to work our way. We're going to start with the salmon, then we're going to work our way down into the beige red, and then we're going to go into the cream, and then on each of these I'll start again. So work our way down. So I'm going to go over this later on, and I'm going to probably remove the black lines, I think, using the gel pen, just a white gel pen. Okay, I'm going to go in now with the beige red 132. And we're going to start blending downwards. in with our cream. Say I'm gonna just go in here just a little bit with that beige red just to soften it a little bit. Like that. Let's see. There you go. That's our clouds, and I believe in our sky. Let's see. Oh, let's get those. Now I'll show you what we're going to do with the gel pen. So what I'm doing, using, I've got the Uniball. There we go. That way. The Uniball Sino. And it's a white one, and I find it works really well. I do have a Posca pen as well, but sometimes I actually do prefer the white ones, the white gel pens. It's just those little dots are already there. And do that. I'm looking. I'll go like a little. Some little shiny bits. There we go. So I'm just going to do that over here. There we go. And then just the same. Just the same down here. I apologize if you can hear my child in the background. My teenager is playing a game and things gets a bit loud. I will try to mute him out. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in a bit on that just so you can see what I mean. There you go, now you can see just the little dots and the little, just like little lines. Makes it look like it's really sparkly and full of stars and beautiful things out in space. Alright, I reckon I'm going to put some, let's put a bit of white inside these little, oh come on. There we go. Okay, let's keep going further down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm kind of going to keep going a little bit with the cream, and then I'm going to start fading into the same pinks and purples and blues that we used for the galaxies up the top. And I'm going to fade it down here, and in the end down, let's see, zoom out a bit again, and just so by the time I get down here it's more like a night sky, just like a normal one with no galaxies and stuff, just a normal you would see. So we've got the space up the top, and then we have our clouds, and then we're going to fade down into a night sky down the bottom here. Okay, so I'm going to start with my beige red again, just at the very top here where those ribbons go. Just because there's a cloud just above there. So I'm kind of continuing that one down, but I'm not going in like crazy hard or anything. It's just to have a little bit of nuance rather than just the cream colour. And just a bit of darkness, just, you know, shaded by the ribbons. There we go, and I'm going to go now in with the cream. I hope that cream is showing up. It is sometimes a bit hard to get it to show up on camera just because it's so light, but you can definitely see it when you put it on. You will definitely see it when we zoom in after. Okay, yeah, I think you can see it. Alright, we're going to go in with our light purple pink again, which is the same we'd used up the very top in that sort of space galaxy. Now just remember, I'm going to go over this with some white afterwards anyway, at least the edges and the overlappings, just to make sure it's all even. So at the moment it sort of looks like it's quite a line, but that will all get blended away. I'm gonna start overlapping with the purples. Okay, so I've got my blue violet now, so I'm right back onto the same pencils we used for the night sky up the top. Now this purple we can take all the way down to the bottom. Just a very light layer and sort of faded into the pink. Again, once I go in at the end with the white, it would all really smush together and blend out beautifully. Make sure you remember to go just in between these little gaps behind the leaves as well. Just as we work our way down. It helps if you've got a fairly good point on your pencil, just because it's quite a few little tiny fiddly bits. just gonna go ahead and just erase it a little bit around here. I think I'm gonna, there we go, I'm gonna go like that, and I'm gonna leave that bit. I just want I reckon I want a little bit of that shine from the lantern to come out a little bit. So I'm gonna just change that just a tiny bit. Just like, there we go, just we've got like a little area on both sides that can glow from the lantern. So that's definitely, if you find that you're a heavy-handed colorist, you might find it hard to erase things afterwards if you need to. So what you can do, instead of holding so close to the tip, start practicing holding further back, and you're going to find it's going to be much harder to put a lot of pressure on. And so that's a good way to start practicing releasing your pressure if you need to. If you want that little, it's just a handy tip, because I often see people, saying that blending, they're finding blending really hard because they're so heavy-handed. So by the time it comes to trying to blend colors, there's barely any tooth left on the paper, and it's hard to start blending and smushing them all together because there's sort of nothing left to give. And that's a good way to just start practicing being lighter handed and building up more layers instead. And it will just, if you then see little things that you might need to tweak, just like I did now, just after you've done them and just gone, oh, hang on a second, I was meant to do that, it will give you a little bit of leeway to go in and erase what you need to do. Alright, first layer of purple is down. So let's go in with the indigo. I'm gonna start the indigo down the bottom. I'm going to start from here and I'm going to build my way up to darken everything, but it will still have that little bit of purple undertone to it because we laid down that blue purple, or that blue violet first, not purple but violet. If you don't have violet, you can probably use a purple as well, but try to go with one that has the most amount of blue in it, at least if you're going to lay it underneath like this. this point here. I'm not going to go all the way up here. I'm just going to sort of stop it about here, I reckon. No further up than this. I'm not going to go in a little bit lighter. Again, you can always build up more later on. And we're going to go with our next colour, which is our Helio Blue Reddish. It's going to give it a quick little sharpen. There we go. Alright, this one I'm going to start up the top here. I'm going to sort of make my way almost up, very, very light. Just so we get that little bit of bright blueness just sort of about here. A bit like we did with the Galaxy up the top. Just go down, just like we've done with the other ones. So we're starting to get some good sort of colour saturation. Let's see, there we go. Watch out, so just try not to get blue on those little leaves because they're quite small and fiddly. I quite like this Helio Blue. It sort of just brings a really nice rich blue just to the top, so you get that nice dark layer by using the indigo, and then you kind of bring it up a notch by adding that Helio Blue to the top. Alright, so I'm going to just do all the way down exactly the same as I've done, and I'll do that off camera because you have seen me go all the way down. There's nothing new I'm doing right now. So I'll finish that off and we'll come back and I'll show you a bit more. Okay, I'm going to go back in with my pink and just add another layer. And I want to sort of start blending that sort of edge between the blues and the pinks, just so that there's like a nice gradient. Also remembering that we're going to go in with the white as well, so that will help too. Take that cream and I'm gonna do the same just on that area here. Blend the colours in together. Alright, let's see, I think it's time to go in now and blend. So I'm gonna go in with the white again. So I'm gonna go, start up here. Just gonna blend that edge. I'm not gonna go any further up here because the cream itself is so light that it makes little to no difference to putting white on top of it. So here we go. So I'm just gonna start just evening out that gradient between the colours Make sure that we go into all of these little corners as well. I am pressing down a bit harder now to really sort of work all the colours together. Let's see. I'm not going to do too much there because I'm going to go back in there after I've got my lantern. Actually, I might do that. I'm going to go in. I'm just going to go in with a light cadmium yellow. That's number 105, same one will be used for the stars. And I'm just going to go in just on the outside here. I'll do the inside later, but I just want to get the glow in so we can blend it. There we go. That just sort of softens that outline a bit. There we go. Let's see, I apologise if I'm getting a lot of shadows on my page now. I'm just using natural lighting and the sun is just sort of starting to peep through the window, so it's just changing a little bit at the moment. There we go. That's a little sky. Let's just have a look at that, just zoom out a bit. So I just got it quite dark sort of down the bottom here, little edges, and then we're sort of working our way up and until we're hitting our clouds. So now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do these little ribbons, just that comes here. Alright, I'm going to do a sort of purple, but I want to have a bit of a blue sort of undertone, and I want them to be like satin sort of ribbons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like a lighter area just here where they go over the frame, and then I'm going to do them darker on the side. So I'm going to start out with the indigo, and I'm just going to lay down just some layers. Just to have that darker undertone on it. So it's going to be more like a bluish purple. So see, the ones that are sort of behind, I'm going to make them a little bit darker, just because they have probably a bit of shading on them. it just sort of allows me to have some nice sort of dark contrast areas. So we can go in and go a little bit darker sort of in the center areas. I'll do that one too, but I'll show you this one. You can do exactly the same with the one that's coming down from here and go twirling around down the bottom. Okay, I'm going to go in now with my sky blue. It's 146. And I'm just going to sort of bring out nearly meeting in the middle. I'm just leaving a tiny bit of white in between. Okay, I'm going to go in with the Delft Blue, 141. And I'm going to go over everything and just sort of stop just where the sky blue sort of ends, just before it. So everything that had indigo on it, it will be covered and then nearly up to the edge of the sky blue. Okay, going in with my white again, I'm just going to blend those middle areas there. There we go, and there's our ribbon all done. Okay, so for the leaves here, I'm going to go back to the colours that we used for the balloons, and we're going to go back to our rose carmine and our pink madder lake, as well as our cream. So that's these two here. Sorry, my lighting is starting to get a little bit, there we go. So we'll see, leaves might be the last thing we do today, and then we're going to do our next session, we're going to do the center and the framing. So I'm going to do leaves darker at the tip, and we're going to do the cream down the bottom. So I'll show you a few. So I've started with my rose carmine, and I'm just going at the sort of the tips. Now I'll do a few here, and just to show you how I do them, and then I'll show you absolutely all of them because there's quite a few. Let's do about that many. And then we're going to go in with our pink Madder Lake, and I'm sort of just blending it down a little bit and just leaving out a little bit of a white area down the bottom. Those tiny ones I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to do all three on those. I'll just do the first one and the cream. Like that. And then we're going to go in with the cream and just blend. And again, I love the fact that because it just makes it look like it's glowing from sort of the bottom. Like it's some sort of light that's sort of illuminating them. There we go, so I'm going to continue doing that all the way down. Let's see. Oh, I can't zoom in anymore, but I'll show you like that. So that's how they're looking at the moment. If you want to go even darker, I'm holding the camera, so I'm sorry if it's, you can go in again at the very tip, just with a really sharp point. And you can do an extra layer. Just like that. You don't have to do them all over the place, but you can do a few here and there. And then just blend it down again. Just like that. And we're going to do, so I'm going to do all of that off camera all the way down, and we're going to come back for a part 2, and we're going to do the little lanterns here, and I'm going to zoom out. We're going to do silver. We're going to do a silver mirror around, or silver frame, and then we're going to do the backgrounds behind here. And when we come back to do that, I will have finished. I'm going to finish the side there, so I'll just show you. So this is what we're up to. So then you can go ahead and you can finish off that side. And when we come back here, we're going to finish it all off and do all the center stuff. So thank you so much for coming along and colouring along with me today. I'm really happy that you were here, and I can't wait to see you again next time. Take care.